Good morning and welcome to LILIN's temperature measuring solution webinar. Before we start the course, just a few housekeeping points. We've disabled all microphones and cameras automatically to keep things running smoothly. This webinar is being recorded though, and we'll send you a link to download the recording tomorrow. We do have the Q&A function enabled, so if you have any questions whilst I go through this webinar, please use this, and I've set aside 10 minutes at the end to go through any questions you might have. Or if you prefer to contact us privately, our contact details are included at the end of the webinar. My name's Ian, as I've said, I'm European Product Manager, so we shall begin. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, here's a little bit about LILIN's history. We're a Taiwanese manufacturer, not a Chinese OEM, as many people think. We were established in 1980, so this actually makes us 40 years old this year, which is very good for manufacturers, 40 years old. We did have lots of celebrations planned, but unfortunately they're on hold at the moment due to COVID-19. In 1999, we opened our UK branch, and this has long been established as our European hub. We've always made video surveillance products, and in 2008, we transitioned from analog to IP. You may know us from the custom install market, which we entered in 2013 when we delivered our first IP-based automation driver for Control 4. We pride ourselves on being agile and listening and being able to adapt. We offer everything from simple 1080p cameras with an SD card to large 4K systems, including video walls and matrices. So today's webinar is on our new temperature measuring solutions. We have 3 solutions available. First one is a camera-only solution. The second is a camera and NVR solution. And the third is our camera and our AI engine navigator solution. So let's begin with the camera solution. The camera, the P3T6522E2-F, is the camera we're going to talk about. It's made in the turret chassis, which you can see on the screen here. And we have a dual lens camera. So this means we have the camera, the 1080p 2 megapixel camera, and we also have the 16:12 temperature sensor here. We offer a 0.5 degree accuracy on temperature, and we also use something called face detection, not to be mistaken with recognition. That means we'll only give a temperature when we recognise a face. So this will prevent false alarms or readings of coffee cups and other hot things. We have user-defined high temperature thresholds, and of course, because it's a camera, we have multiple alarm and smart alarm outputs. So this is the first look at the GUI of the camera. So for those of you familiar with LILIN cameras, will note that it's a very familiar looking GUI. Again, the beauty of LILIN is once you know one, you sort of know the whole series. But in our smart events, we also now have the ability to have temperature detection. Here are our 16:12 zones, all measuring different temperatures, and we get an average temperature. We also have the ambient temperature of the camera displayed. And down here, we can set between Celsius and Fahrenheit, a minimum and maximum for the temperature range. We can also calibrate it. So depending on where the camera is located, we can individually calibrate that camera. We also have the ability to be able to create an alarm at a certain temperature. So here's my colleague Alun from Taiwan, measuring 35.83. So he's got a green box around him saying his temperature is okay. If he's measuring above the temperature, the box will turn red, and there is actually an audible siren, which you may hear later today. And we can see here is 38.4, so he's above our threshold. I will state that he is actually okay, though. We did this in a controlled environment. He isn't ill. I will show you the camera menus in more detail at the end of the webinar, so for those of you interested. The next solution we have is the camera with an NVR. So the NVR we're going to offer with this solution is the NVR 51451T4E. It's a PoE 4-channel NVR with up to 4K recording resolution. So we can have one temperature reading camera and 3 other PoE cameras connected. This will display the temperature on the temperature channel. And then because it's an NVR, we could have it connected to a buzzer. We could also have video pop-up. So when the camera recognizes somebody who's over temperature, the video could come up full screen. I have an example of that here. So I have 4 cameras connected. One of them is my temperature camera, another 3 2 series turret cameras into my PoE NVR with 4 channels displayed. When somebody unfortunately reads over temperature, I can program the NVR to pop up full screen, and then using my output alarm from my NVR, I'm triggering a siren to make us all aware. The third solution we're going to offer is the camera with our AI engine navigator server. This server is a very, very small server. This image doesn't do it justice. It's a really small form factor. And what I'm going to do now for you is just run a quick video on our AI mask engine. For those of you who didn't see our webinar on Tuesday, which went into our AI engine, it is available online, or you can contact us and we can send you a direct link to this webinar. It is very interesting. Oh, sorry. First of all, I'm actually going to explain a bit more about the AI engine before running the video. So this is going to be a 4-channel solution, with 1 channel being for the temperature camera. And then on top of the temperature camera, so as well as being able to read the temperature, by using our AI engine, we're actually going to have mask detection as well. So now this device is saying, are you under temperature? And are you wearing a mask? And it can alert us of this.
Today, we are each aware of the current spread of the virus known as the coronavirus, or COVID-19, which continues to spread and grow in our global community. Right now, the question on everyone's mind is how to safely resume everyday activities. Face masks are an important part of the solution. LILIN is doing our part by offering technology tools to help combat COVID-19. LILIN's AI-based mask detection technology is able to accurately detect whether each person is wearing a face mask and whether the face mask is being worn appropriately. This technology is able to accurately read whether a mask is being worn even when other apparel such as hats and helmets are present. Please, wear a face mask. Even where large volumes of foot traffic exist, LILIN's face mask detection is able to accurately read whether each individual is wearing a mask appropriately, such as airports, customs and border crossings, train and bus stations, shopping malls and retail outlets, government buildings, streets, hospitals and healthcare centers, or other public places where a need exists. Our mask detection technology works as a standalone system or as an integrated part of a larger security application. LILIN is ready to do our part to support the global community during this difficult situation.
So this is the actual AI engine part of the server. So here we can select an area within the screen and determine whether we want to see whether they're wearing a mask, a half mask, or not a mask. And we can also then select mask detection. This video is again just running the video through of how wide the scene you can achieve with face and mask detections. Here, so this is our temperature measuring with AI. So again, it's face and temperature and mask detection. So we can see the left-hand scene here. Alun is underneath the temperature and he's wearing a mask, so it's a pass. Here though, he's not wearing a mask and he's over temperature, so no pass, a fail. Here, while he's wearing a mask, his temperature's over, so a fail. And here, his temperature's fine, but again, he's forgotten to wear his mask, so again, it's a fail. This is a short video of a solution actually working in Taiwan. So this is actually at HQ. So they're using the Navigator integrated solution. When they come in, they're being checked that they're wearing masks and that their temperature is underneath the correct parameters that have been set. So they're following good social distancing here, coming in. You might notice that the light is flashing. The reason being is this person is wearing their mask incorrectly. So they're being told about this and they're readjusting their mask, and now they pass. This gentleman is actually, his temperature is too high. So we're being indicated by red and the flashing light. He's now being stopped, being asked to come and have another go. But again, he's over temperature. Mask and temperature are fine on this one. So that gives you an idea of how strong this solution is. There are some best practice tips with the camera. It is a unique camera, so certain procedures have to be followed. Remember, it is internal use only. For the best reading, we recommend between 50 and 80 centimeters away from the camera, the target should be. Okay, things like the angle of the camera is also very important. Try to avoid reflective backgrounds to eliminate minimize the IR reflection, because remember, it is an IR beam being sent out and back. Don't install it in direct sunlight, so install out of direct sunlight. Maybe use a waiting area and a retest, because it could be that you've been exercising, so you've come in and you're particularly warm, so maybe a waiting area and then try again. Remember, this is one person at a time for optimum use. So again, some more on the best practice. We've created a temperature measuring area where the target has to stand. That's 50 to 80 centimeters away from the camera, and we're looking down at a slight angle here. So the camera mounted on or as you saw in the video, we do have this solution available where you can actually mount a monitor and a recording system on a YouTube. So before I do why LILIN, I'm going to actually now take a risk and show you into my home and show you the camera working live. So bear with me a second. This is the first time I've tried to swap screens within a Zoom and actually share a live screen. So share, temperature camera. Here we go. Hi. So welcome to my home. That's me in the image. So we can see I'm reading between 36 and 37. I have a 50 centimeter ruler here, so I can tell that I'm actually the appropriate distance away from the camera. I'll take you into the menus quickly. So, very familiar LILIN looking menu. Within advanced mode, I'm going to go to smart event. I then have temperature detection. So the ambient temperature in my house at the moment where the camera is mounted is 33, so nice. And we can see here how the sensors adjust by the heat source, the IR reflection. I haven't had to calibrate this camera. It's worked very well out of box for me. So I've got zero calibration on it. I've just done it out of box, and I'm doing it so that there's an audible alarm for anyone who's 38 degrees. So I'll go back to the live image. So there's my measurement, 36. Roughly when I'm about 50 centimeters away. Take a temperature here, 36.9 on there. So we can see very, very good results. Okay, I'm now going to switch you back to the presentation. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so you should be seeing the presentation again. So, why LILIN? Well, we operate worldwide with branch offices in over 12 countries and a global distribution network that provides our customers with local support in each area. We are agile and able to adapt to challenging circumstances, as you can see by the creation of our mass detection solution, which we have developed and deployed within a 3-month period. We have a key partnership with Leroux in Taiwan, who help us create a strong cyber security framework that tests both new and existing products to prevent against cyber attacks. We have an excellent in-house research and development team who are continuing improving our product design. We offer full scalable solutions, as I've said, from homes to commercial sites to government projects, such as the Taiwanese subway. We have a huge platform of online resources available, including our own knowledge base, and we have unparalleled technical support around the world. So I'm now going to, I've brought it into the Q&A. I'm going to open it up to any questions. So I'm going to quickly check to see if we have any questions for us at the moment. So let's have a look. If anyone wants to see the live again, just let me know and I'll try to switch back to live, or if you have any questions about the recording solution. So remember, camera only, camera and NVR, or camera and AI navigator server, which also then gives you the option of mask detection as well. So temperature and mask. Okay, any questions at all? Peter, is the NVR recording? Yes, of course the NVR is recording. It's a 4-channel NVR. So channel 1 is our temperature camera, and the other 3 channels are normal cameras. And we're recording all 4 channels as normal video, and we're also recording the text overlay for the temperature camera. And again, remember what I said about the NVR? We could program it so that it does alarm pop-up when somebody is over temperature. Andy Chance, can we add this to other NVRs? I'm afraid at the moment, Andy, it's only available in the models that I've gone through in today's webinar. Will we be issuing pricing? Yes, we will be issuing pricing in the next few days. Feel free to give the office an email and they'll be more than happy to provide that with you. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss that over a webinar because it's a global webinar with different markets. Paul, can you use smart alarms to send to the app? So the camera is based on our normal cameras. So everything you could do with a normal camera, such as smart alarms, push notifications, we can do that as well with this camera. So if somebody's over temperature, we could, you've seen it doing audio sirens, but we could also do a push notification to a mobile app. We could do an email notification. Anything that's normally available in smart alarms, we can do. Peter, you quote that 50 to 80 centimeters for an accurate read, yet you show a great image of streets identifying many faces. Don't get confused, Peter, with the temperature read distance and the mask detection. Mask detection is available as its own solution as well, which was done on Tuesday, and can do, because it's running the AI engine, it can do the mask read from a great distance and many people at once. The temperature read has to be between 50 and 80 for an optimum read, and that we would recommend at 1 person at a time. So when you use our third solution, which was our temperature camera and our navigator AI solution, use it in a controlled environment, because obviously temperature is still important, like the video you saw at Taiwan HQ. So mass detection will pick up in a greater scene, but temperature between the 50 to 80 centimetre. Any more questions at all? Give it a few more seconds just to see if anyone has another question for me. Okay, Tom Daly, can the AI do other things? Now, I don't want to get you too confused. So the solution I've shown you today is a product that's ready to go to market for temperature and mass detection. So that little AI navigator will be literally for what you saw today. It will measure the temperature using the camera and mass detection using the AI. Now, we do have other AI servers available that do a great deal of things as well. And there was actually a webinar on Tuesday about this, but we do everything from traffic management to AMPR solutions to make of cars even. But again, the server would have to be configured and sold in the correct way. But if you are interested in that, please let us know, and we'll send you a link to Tuesday's webinar so you can view all the different things that AI can do. Other manufacturers are claiming to have crowd temperature detection. Any plans? Now, I didn't want to really go into things like thermal cameras and how our temperature camera is different to a thermal camera, because there's lots of back and forth on which solution is better. Just bear in mind that obviously this solution is your most cost-effective solution. Now with thermal, there are many positives, but also many negatives that I could go into. But again, I think that'd be better if you contact a member of our sales team who would go through that in more detail with you. Okay, so I'm going to bring this webinar to an end. I'd like to thank you all for attending today and wish you all well, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you very much.